Hey guys, this is EJ Holland with On 3 and the Wolverine, and I am here with On 300 Michigan offensive line target Michael Carroll, who is actually rocking the Michigan Big Ten champion shirt. So, Mike, before we talk a little bit about Michigan, I know it's the off season, I know it's winter. Just tell me a little bit about some of the things you've been working on to improve your game throughout these last couple months.
I've been working on getting bigger, stronger, faster, fixing imbalances, doing single leg work with my coach Mike Moosberger, and just getting big, strong, and fast.
When I walked into the school, this was my first time seeing you. When I walked in, I was like, man, you're tall. You're bigger than listed. It looks like you could be a guy that could play in the interior, but could also play tackle. How do you envision yourself at the next level?
I've been growing a little bit. I've been measured at 6'6" and a quarter recently. I feel as if I could play guard or tackle, whatever I have to do to get on the field, but probably more comfortable at guard since I played it in my whole high school career.
Let's talk a little bit about Michigan. Obviously, you are a priority for Michigan. They've experienced a lot of changes in the offseason, but why has Michigan kind of remained a top contender for you in your recruitment?
Michigan's like the best of both worlds. You could have great academics and great athletics, and then go compete for a national championship as well and get developed by the best offensive line coaches in the country.
So you have a new head coach in Sharon Moore. You were personally recruited by him, just being an offensive lineman, and obviously Coach Moore coaching the offensive line. What can you tell me about Coach Moore on a personal level, and how cool is it to have a relationship already with the new head coach?
He really cares for his players. He is like a dad to them. They all call him Papa Moore. He's a great developer, cares a lot about his team, and I really like him as a coach.
How do you think he'll do at Michigan, in the head role full time?
I think he'll be dominant just like he was with the offensive line. Just do everything with domination and go in.
Grant Newsome's the new offensive line coach. You also had a relationship with him already. Just tell me about Grant Newsome's personality and also his coaching style, just what you like about him overall as well.
I like the fact that he played there and he's so young. He knows exactly the most relevant way to teach offensive line and play offensive line at that level and potentially the next.
He's also the area recruiter out here, so I know he's stopped by a couple of times. How cool is it to just have him at your school, kind of, being a guy that relates well to kids out here and making the rounds? How great was it to see him during the contact period?
It's really cool, just that he played here and from around this area. Just to be a priority recruit for a school like Michigan, it's awesome.
So Michigan obviously won 2 Joe Moore Awards in 3 years. How impressed were you with the offensive line and just the development of the guys up front?
I was extremely impressed by them. Just that's what happens when you buy into a program like Michigan. You just see the results and end up on top.
So Michigan, obviously, like you said, offers the best of both worlds, great academic institution as well. What do you think about Michigan's education and what they have to offer on the academic side?
I think it's amazing. My mom really cares a lot about academics, and so do I. So a place like Michigan seems like a perfect fit.
You've visited Michigan on numerous occasions. Just tell me a little bit about the atmosphere, the environment, just, your visits, what some of the highlights were for you.
The highlights were the Michigan-Ohio State game when I went there. I've never seen an atmosphere like that in my life. Being able to rush the field, one of the coolest things I've done in a football game.
Definitely. So I know you were at the Ohio State game along with good friend Rowan Byrne. We talked a little bit about him off camera, but just tell me about your friendship with Rowan. I know you guys kind of interact with each other. Obviously, both of you guys are on the East Coast. How cool would it be to link up with him at the next level?
Rowan's a really hard worker. I think it would be really cool to play with him. I feel like we'd be very dominant together and just probably win.
How do you think your games complement each other?
I think we're both very physical, and we just win out and we both have that drive and the nasty streak to us.
Overall, in your recruitment, what are you really looking for in a program? What are going to be those deciding factors for you?
A place that I'm comfortable at, a place that will develop me, good strength coach, great offensive line coach, and great head coach.
You are a Penn State and Michigan State legacy, correct? So I know your dad played at Penn State. Your mom obviously went to Michigan State. How have they kind of been handling the recruiting process with Michigan, just it being a rival school to both Michigan State and Penn State?
Well, they want me to make my own decision. There's little hints that they kind of want me to check out both of their schools, but They want it to be up to me, wherever I feel happiest and best fit.
Your dad messaged me a little bit before I came out here. He seemed pretty excited about Michigan. Is he not necessarily converting, but, how much has he bought into the Michigan program? How much does he like Michigan?
Oh, he really likes Michigan. He thinks it's a great fit for me. So does my mom. They tell me a lot. They wish they had someone in their ear telling them to go to Michigan when they were younger. It's best of both worlds.
Awesome. So last question for you, Mike, just to get to know you a little bit away from the field, tell me a little bit about your hobbies, what you like to do. What's Mike Carroll, the normal everyday guy, like?
I like to play basketball and hang out with my friends and play video games. Like to go to the YMCA and just throw down dunks with my friends.
We need to see you throwing down some dunks, man. Can you windmill?
I can't windmill yet. I can throw it off the backboard and dunk it.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you, Mike. Thanks a lot.